Hi there, I'm going to be really quick. Here's some little bit of information for you. There is a bit of lag on my camera, so I do apologise that in advance. I can't figure out how to stop it. So first of all, I would like to say, please subscribe to my channel down below. That big red subscribe button will subscribe you to my channel for more videos like this one. And if you wanted to see the last video from this, you can do by clicking on the last video tab right there. That will take you to the last video that I have ever produced. And of course, if you want to have this for audio only and have it on your iTunes, you can do by clicking that link, that annotation down below right there. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'm sure I'm going to make another one of these videos at the very end of the video. It is an hour long and it is audio only, so I do apologize about that. We haven't got video yet, but we will do soon or later, depending. I don't know really. See you later. Right, this is the weekly podcast. Enjoy. Welcome to the weekly podcast, episode number 7. This week it's just me and Jahson talking about Christmas stuff, I guess, and Star Wars and all the cool things that are coming around because of the holidays and the 2-week hiatus that I didn't tell anyone about until today. I do apologise, I must admit this now. I didn't tweet this out, I forgot completely. I had messaged it out on my Facebook page for me, and I messaged it out on my Twitter for me and everybody else, and I didn't realise I hadn't tweeted it out on the Weeklycast Twitter. So I do apologise about that in advance. We are taking a 2-week break. That's purely because nobody really wants to talk to us over the 2-week break. So we decided we're going to have a Podmas episode today to sort of seal off the podcast this side and sort of talk about a little bit of the interviews that we have had, the guests we've had on, who Jahson had really desperately wanted to sit in and chat with, and all stuff like that would be awesome to this week's episode. It should have segments and stuff like that from all the guests that we've had on so far, which will be epic. It's an epic episode. Plus, we've got the Star Wars background music. Of course, the Star Wars film came out this week. Today, in fact, it came out. So please tweet us at Weeklycast what your thoughts are of the film. And again, thank you very much for listening. This is the Weekly Podcast.
Bad for you, because now, like, I remember I used to have to do that for, like, I don't know, a month or something, or like a few weeks, and I noticed that, like, because it was only one ear, I used to, like, put up the volume higher, and I noticed, like, one ear now can hear better than the other ear or something like that. I don't know, it's weird, but it felt like that at least.
Well, yeah, because I've been doing most of these podcasts with one ear not working because, like, the wire's connected, right? So I've got a headset that has a specialist connection cable, and of course I'm using like a normal laptop PC cable, and I've plugged it in, and of course it's not listening. It can't do the both headphones, and of course now it's knocked into a position where it can actually do both headphones. It's actually quite nice. I can hear you loud and clearly.
By the way, can you hear my clicking? Because I'm curious.
Yeah, I can hear you clicking. It's okay. It's fine.
Oh, shit.
It's okay. It's okay.
So,
we're recording now.
Like,
it doesn't matter.
For every single podcast I've been in, you guys have been hearing my clicks?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I don't listen to the clicks and stuff.
I think it was like one time. What was it when we were with those two guys? I was playing a game on my browser, so I was clicking a lot.
Oh, that was was that David Cameron and Justin?
Yeah, that we did on Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
And I went crazy with the clicking. I was like, I don't know. Sometimes there'll be points in the game where I didn't even need to click, but I was like, I have nothing better to do, so I'll just click anyway.
Ah. So what are you doing this Christmas then, Jahson?
I'm not doing anything really.
You're not?
I think my family might come, but I don't want them to come.
Why?
My family are so noisy. And my family are cool. Like my extended family. Oh my god, they're too noisy.
So,
wait, are we recording now?
Yeah, we're recording now. Yeah, it's like recording from the word go.
Oh, I didn't know.
No,
hey guys.
Not many people know that we record without people knowing. Like most cases on our podcast, we start recording and the guest actually doesn't know that we're recording. And of course, so some of the interviews are like, they start and they're like, yeah, and I did this. And then they're like, hang on a minute, are we recording? And you go, and I'd say, oh yeah, we are. And they're like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm going to liven up a little bit. It's like,
wait, so was like the part where I was complaining about clicks, was that being recorded?
Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh,
it was all about editing later.
Edit this.
Of course, I said
should get a quieter mouse.
I don't know if that's even possible. Like, because you can hear me clicking around and stuff. So
I can't hear you click. I'm gonna have to use my touchpad for my laptop. I wish I had a touch screen. Yeah, that's the future.
Oh so God. What do you want to talk about?
Mice are so gross. Disgusting. What's that? Like laptop mice, they're disgusting to use.
So what do you want to talk about? Have you seen the new trailer for the Star Wars film?
Yeah, but I was thinking about downloading all of the past Star Wars movies to actually watch this one. But then I got lazy and didn't, because that's like 7 movies and each one is 2 hours. I'm like,
yeah. See what Sophie doesn't realize. See, Sophie doesn't realize this, but she's agreed finally to actually go and see the Star Wars film with me. And so one of the major things that she doesn't realize is going to happen is, I've told her today, but this weekend is just going to be filled with Star Wars from episode 1 all the way through to episode 6. So there's 6 films, and then we've got the 7th one to watch as well. So I'm booking tickets for that probably next weekend. And I'm like, yes, we can watch them all, and you can like it with me. And stuff like that.
But I don't know if I'll even like it, because I don't know. I have this thing. I think, now that I think about it, it's kind of a bad thing, because there's that saying, old is gold. But when a movie is like older than me, I can't be bothered to watch it. I just assume I won't like it, because my dad, he loves...
The prequels aren't that old. The prequels are like...
I don't know.
No, just think about it. The prequels came out.
But I have to watch it from episode 1, and episode 1 is like from my parents' time. And like I remember, like as a kid, my dad used to always watch I don't know why, but he used to always watch the cowboy movies and shit. Oh, and one thing he loves watching now is the kung fu movies. Like he'll go to the random ass Japanese channel who just randomly turned one of their martial arts shows into English. Like, I don't know who they got to voice act. It could be the same person for all the series that they've had. And they all are like, you dishonored my family, now we must fight. And then they just fight, and I'm like, I hate them. And they're so old too.
Well, Star Wars, the original Star Wars, like the episodes, what people know them as 1, 2, and 3, but they're really known as 4, 5, and 6. But they were made 40 years ago, I think it was. Someone said something like that. I think I watched the woman who plays Princess Leia. She was on the Ellen show, and she said it was 40 years ago since the last time she was shooting this film. And now she's shooting another film for the same franchise with a different director, and she's like, oh.
But you know what I don't get about Star Wars is I don't get why it's so popular now. I mean, sure, like ages ago, it was like, yeah, it's the new thing. But now there hasn't been a movie in years. I don't get why there's still such a huge fan base.
Because
it's like, for example, like just imagine it, like in, I don't know, 50 years, I don't know, the Avengers still have, like, they're still hyping up the Avengers movie.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. It's where all the merchandise and the way it's all marketed and stuff has all really helped things, if you think about it. Because the parents now who have watched Star Wars are now parents when they were kids. When they've grown up and they've shared this film with their kids then fell in love with it because their parents are in love with it. And of course that's then carried on, and it will continually carry on, and they said that they're going to continue making Star Wars films forever. Yes. Oh, so it's going to die, and it's not going to be great at the end of the day. But hey, it's a new Star Wars film. I'm really excited about going to see it. I don't know if you're going to go and see it or not, but I'm really excited.
I don't even have a cinema in this country, so.
Oh
wait, no, there is one. There is I think there's one in the capital city. That's like a 2-day trip.
All right.
Car, or 2-hour plane trip. So yeah, I'll probably watch it.
Can you drive?
No, I'll just. You're only allowed to drive when you're 18. So next year, I have to get my license.
So you're gonna learn.
Yeah, but over here, you don't even need a license to drive. As long as you have if you don't have a license, what people do, they have kind of a little area in their car where they keep a little bit of money, so when the cops actually do stop them, they just pull out the money and they just accept it. It's a normal thing. It's like you guys in your Western countries, you'd be like, oh my god, bribery, what? Over here, the police will even suggest it. It's so well, you're speeding right now and I could give you a ticket, but you see, I'm kind of thirsty. They won't be like, yo, bribe, I'm cool with it. They'll be like, yo, I'm feeling kind of thirsty. I just wish I had a Coca-Cola. And then you'd be like, here's some money for a Coca-Cola. And they'll be like, okay, you can go. We're friends now.
I mean, over here you have to have a license. And Sophie's recently just passed her driving test. I just want to tell you that my lights have just all gone off. All of the lights have just shut down. Anyway, I'm going to carry on talking. But if I cut off, that will be the reason why.
Okay.
It looks like we're going into a bit of a power cut, but my PC's on, so it's all right. Anyway, no, she's just passed her test, and of course she's now looking to get a car, and of course cars are expensive, and yeah, it's just not great. But it's good. It's good fun. So, what are you planning to do for Christmas? What would you? What do you
guys even need a car for?
To
you
get
guys
to work?
No, but you guys go you don't understand. You guys have buses, and you got I don't know, Uber, whatever. I've never even used it. I know it's a thing. You guys have all that. You know what I have? My feet. And sometimes, I'm not even joking, sometimes it gets so hot that when you're walking, the bottom of your shoes get super, super hot. And it feels like you're just walking on a frying pan.
Oh, that doesn't sound
nice.
The heat
transfers. It transfers.
But you need a car to get to work, which you can walk to. But you can get, the cars are very useful.
Just the other day, whenever I'm going out with my friends, we kind of have this place that we go to. It's right next to the beach, and it's where you get ice creams and shit. Nah, what you mean right next to the beach? I thought you'd be like, wow, that sounds so tropical. But nah. It's right next to the beach, but I have to walk 1.5 kilometers, maybe 2. And it depends on the route I take. There's the rape route, and then there's the not rape route. And sometimes I'm forced to take the rape route. And you always have to look behind you. It's will I get raped? I wonder.
Oh, you are funny. You know that. It's just I hang out at the beach. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. That's pretty. I mean, I live by the beach. It's a stony beach. It's cold, wet beach. Nothing really happens on the beach other than.
Actually, no. The beach I live, I think I'm 3 meters away from the beach, right? If I go outside my back door, there's a garden where there's grass. And by the way, you may not notice, but in Africa, the grass is completely different than it is in Europe and America. If I'm not even joking, Jack.
No, you're not joking.
A real thing. If you go outside your house right now, you're gonna have this such a beautiful grass. Each strand, it looks like hair.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You lie down there, it's gonna feel like a pillow. You go out here, like the grass aren't strands; they're kind of like vines that go through the ground. That's the best way to describing them. And if you like touch them, like if you lie there, they have this, like, I don't know what it is, but as soon as you get out, you will itch like crazy. As a kid, I used to like roll around the grass and regret it instantly. I'd be like, oh my god, why? Just itch. And the only way to get rid of it is to go have a shower. So if you ever touch the grass, you have to go have a shower.
I must admit,
and some people here don't have showers, so then they just have to live with it the rest of their lives. I don't know what they do. Freaking 30 years and they're still itching.
I must admit, I have been into Africa. I've been to Egypt and places like that. The grass there is...
Egypt?
What? What's
Egypt?
wrong? What's
this
wrong?
is kind of developed. There's like a city there.
Yeah, and?
You gotta
There's
go
grass
to
there. We're talking about grass.
Okay. I'm not even sure what type of grass they have in Egypt, because Egypt's pretty up there. That's like I forget that's in Africa. So yeah, you went to Egypt?
Yes, I went to Egypt. The grass was what you were describing, and yes, it was very itchy. Very good to buy at the pool, though.
The grass, it sucks. And, you know, it depends sometimes. Like, for example, now it's summer over here, even though it's winter for you guys.
Yeah.
And first of all, like, summer here doesn't make sense because everything's trying to be so Western for Christmas and shit. So you go into shops and there'll be like snowflakes and stuff. Be like, winter's finally here. Woo, snow. I'm like, bitch, have you ever seen snow? It's not the time for snow. Why are you decorating your shops with snow when it's the hottest time of the year? No, it's Christmas.
So what was your favorite interview in the podcast?
Well, the ones I've been on, probably the one that we did on Google Hangouts.
What, the one with David Cameron and co, the One Up Gaming?
Yeah.
I must admit, I did like that. I thought it was going to get a lot more views, like listens, because of course this podcast goes out onto SoundCloud as well. And by the way, surprise for you, Jahson, it's going out on YouTube soon as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm putting it on YouTube. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to put this on YouTube somehow. I think I'm going to edit it down. I don't know. I haven't really worked it all out yet. But I'm going to put a little video introduction and stuff and put it on my YouTube channel, and you can do the same, obviously, with your YouTube channel. What is happening with your YouTube channel? Are you going to do YouTube or not?
The thing is procrastination, Jack. It's a thing. You know, sometimes, like, I've had a long holiday, like, this whole month. And every day I wake up at, like, 12 a.m., right? Like, just, like, my lunch is my breakfast. And for the rest of the day, I just do nothing. And then when I'm going to sleep, I'm be like, oh my God, I'm a useless human being. What am I doing with my life? And then I'll do it again the next day. Nothing will change. Like,
so you're never going to do a YouTube channel? Is that what you're saying?
I will.
You will.
But, like, you know when you're sleeping, you, like, start thinking about your life and you'll be like, wow, my life has been pretty shit up till now. I'm going to change it starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to, like, go do this, and this. Then you wake up tomorrow, you're like, oh my God, what the hell? What was I thinking last night? Nah, I'm just going to watch TV.
I must admit, this morning I woke up at about 9 o'clock, which was good for me, because normally I don't wake up until about, 11 o'clock? Which is a few hours
I try to wake up at 11 o'clock now. Before, it was kind of a thing like, you know, when you just get into holidays, right? You still have that kind of like waking up in the morning kind of vibe. So, like, the first few days would be like I'd wake up at 9 or something, like, hey, I'm a decent human being. And then, like, now I wake up at 12, like, my parents are coming home from work, and I'm like, oh, what did you do today? And I'm like, sometimes I feel bad. I'd be like, wow, these guys are gonna think that I just do nothing on my day. And I'd be like, oh, I did a lot of stuff today when I just woke up.
Oh, I must admit when I was younger, I must admit that I did wake up when my parents came home from work. One time, there was once my mum only works half a day, so she comes home around 1:30, something like that, and she came home and I had literally just got up. And I was in the shower, and she came out, and she was like, "I've just done like 5 hours. What have you been doing for like the last 5 hours?" Of like, been asleep,
and then you'd be like, you seem like you're just like useless.
Yeah.
Your parents would be there, like, give you that disappointed look, like, I'm working for this dipshit, and all he's doing is sleeping this time.
Yeah, it's well, I don't know. I don't understand really. It's like one of them things. Now I wake up early and I'm like, I've got a job, right? So I pick and choose when I go in, which is probably one of the worst things you can ever say to me. And I go in, and of course I'm only allowed to work 6 hours a week. And of course, them 6 hours are very vital, of course, because I come in early. If I come in early, I've got to go
6
home
hours
early.
a week. I would just do it all at one day.
Yeah, that's what I do.
In a week,
Yeah.
I'll probably do it on a Sunday. Like,
You see, the thing is,
there's
where
my
I
work for the week.
Yeah, pretty
Like,
much.
on the last day. Hell, if it was like, if an employer came to me and be like, okay, you have to work X, like 32 hours in the month, like an hour every day. And then you'd be like, oh, hell yeah. And then on the last day of the month, you'd be like, shit, all right, these 24 hours, I'm going to put 32 hours worth of work into them. That'd be me.
Oh, I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I've been job searching, and it's a pain. Over here, it's a pain, because every job is like, well, there is loads of jobs, but they're like, oh, you're not qualified for this, or you're not able to do this because you haven't got this. And one of the worst things that I always hate is they don't reply to you. I don't know if it's the same for you.
Well, over here, like, to get a job, all you have to do is like talk to a person. Like, there's no. It's kind of like you inherit the job. So, like, if your dad or your brother is like part of a company or something, you will just get, I don't know, like, financial manager in that job, even though what you studied in college would be like language arts, and you go do like the accounting of a business. So that's how it works here. So there's no really like, you don't like email them asking for jobs. Nah.
So one of the favourite parts of this podcast is the fact that we get to chat to awesome people. Some are bigger than us and some are smaller than us. And it's all about that diverse input. And of course, you've said your favourite interview, but I haven't said mine. And mine is the interview with Jason Horton. Unfortunately, you weren't able to stick around for the whole lot,
That
were you?
day was so hard. My computer, like, it basically broke. I remember because we joined the call with him, right? I was there. I said hi to him. He was all like, hey, there's another guy here. Hi. And then as soon as you press record, boom, my computer's like, you know what? I'm not going to work anymore.
Hey,
Like, that whole day, I was using my computer. And that day, it was just like, no.
You asked him like 2 questions at the very start, and then you just like disappeared. And then you
Did I even ask him?
Yeah, you asked him 2 questions. Like them 2 questions, and I was like, he was here. Like in the intro, I was
hey,
like,
what's your name?
yeah, it was
Jason.
like, what do you do, and how do you? What sort of stuff do you do with YouTube? I needed you for that interview. I've already said it to him already, and I said it in the introduction. I went way too heavy with the YouTube side of things. And like, he does improv and he does all this other stuff, and I didn't even ask him any of that stuff until the very end, and I was like, no. I was a bit of an idiot, but that was my favourite interview. And the fact that he said he will come back, and he's still been talking with me on Facebook, which is actually quite cool.
Wow, usually people just ignore you once they do this
pretty much.
They're
But
like,
no.
oh, we did show him. Fuck that guy now.
No, I think I've been a bit annoying to him. I don't know if he would listen to this or not, but I have been quite irritating. I have been messaging him like pretty much every week. Been like, hey, what have you been up to? What have you been doing? All that sort of stuff.
Wow.
I'm still trying to
Hey,
like.
don't stop. He might think you have a crush on him. Like, god damn it.
But no, the idea is the fact that like, as soon as he did the interview, like, he did the classic thing of, like, he's bigger than us, so he will just unfriend you. So he was, like, a friend of mine, and then I don't know whether or not it's true or not. I'm not going to badmouth him or anything. He didn't realise he had unfriended and all this stuff. We thought we had added each other, but it turned out we hadn't. But we were friends, or we're following, or something like that. And then we weren't following each other. And then I was like, "Oh, why aren't you doing this?" Like this little kid sort of thing. and then he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that we were friends, and now we are now." And oh dear, and this was
yeah. I remember you did that to me too. Like when we first met, right?
Yeah.
No, because first you it was back when I used to do radio.
Yeah.
Podcasting, and you messaged Tim first, which was the person I used to always work with.
Yeah.
And he used to go on with you. And I don't know how, eventually what happened was, like, I replaced Tim. Like,
pretty
Tim stopped
much.
working. And then you, like, added me on Facebook. I'm like, whoa, one show and we're BFFs already? And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll accept for now.
You see, the thing is with me, I use my Facebook as like a source of communication, like I do my networking through it. So nothing that I really post is anything really to do with what my life is. So you don't get the casual posts where I'm saying, I've had a cheeseburger today, or things like that. I don't post anything.
McDonald's.
So the last thing I posted, which happened literally before we pressed record, and that was the fact that I had just literally designed a load of planets for this website that I'm doing for my university, and I'm literally asking people who are parents and say, which ones would you think your kid would like more? It's sort of like a project because I'm targeting towards kids and children, and it's got to be a sciencey website. So I'm like, well, this is what I've done. So that's sort of the thing that I post. That's pretty much all it is. It sounds really dull and boring. It is really dull and boring.
I see those posts nearly every day.
I don't post every day. I mean,
like sometimes I'll see the same post every day.
Well,
like because I scroll down a lot and then I'll see it again. I'm like, oh, there's Jack.
Well, the weekly page has now been converted to me, so weekly is no longer there. Well, it is. It's really hard to explain because me and Sophie are in the weekly, and of course anybody else that is involved is still in weekly. Weekly is still like the website, and that's what it's going to be known as, and it links us all together. But we're not going to have a Facebook page or a Twitter page based around that. So I decided, what am I going to do with the weekly page? I can't just let it die because, you know, I'm a perfectionist and all them sorts of things. So I converted it to me.
And this is like your 7th revision of something. So you kind of
I know. And this is the last. I'm not changing it anymore.
I remember the times of hashtag media. Whoa.
You were there at that start. Are you serious?
Yeah,
that was like at the very, very start.
No. It was hashtag media and when you were working with Tim, because that's what he told me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I think when I joined, you just changed it to Audio Bucket. I remember
Audio
all the
Shack.
names.
Yeah.
Audio Shack.
It was Audio Shack, and then after that, it converted to Nexus Studios because Max joined in, and we merged with them. So we came up with a whole new name, and then that all died. And
then I was all like, "Why are you changing the name again?" And you'd be like, "Nah, this is the last one." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. Mark literally goes. He said to me because a lot of people don't know this, but Mark Hamill is one of the guys that are on the After Hours show. We are trying to pin him down to get on the podcast, but I haven't quite figured out how.
We should have had him here by now. But I
know. I wanted him on the first episode, but anyway, no. He was supposed to be coming on the show, obviously, and other things. But he said when I converted it to being me, he literally messaged me saying, I swear to God, Jack, I'm going to get on the flight and I'm going to come all the way over to England. I'm going to come over to your house and slap you one and get on that plane and go all the way back. It's worth the 7-hour flight. I'm like, but I only changed it to my name. So really, Weekly isn't gone. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you and other people, is that Weekly isn't gone. It's a website linking me and Sophie, really, because that's originally what it was going to be. But it's got no fan pages. That's all that's gone. That's the only thing that's disappeared. We've got our own Twitter account, though.
Speaking of Sophie, I haven't talked to her yet.
I know. She was supposed to be in the podcast, but she just does not want to come on. Refuses to come on.
I'm a nice guy.
I know.
I bet you'd be like, shit, Sophie, Justin's such a dick. Like, you don't want to talk to that guy. And then you'd be like, hey, we're having a show with Justin. She'd be like, oh shit, that loser? Nah.
No, she was meant to be on the podcast, but I don't think that's ever going to happen because, I don't know, she's sort of doing her own thing at the moment. She's got her own Twitter, which is a good thing, and I need to edit our website a little bit more to complement her new Twitter that she's got. But I don't know what she's wanting to do, that's the thing, and she doesn't either. So she's trying to figure it all out. And it's supposed to be me with my channel, because I'm going back to my original channel. So I'm like chucking all the other channels away. And it's sort of like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm doing this.
Don't you have like 3?
Yeah,
channels?
I do. I keep making channels. That's the thing.
Weekly
That's my
Games and Jack Baker.
Yeah, and now I'm just sticking with my original channel, which I set up in 2006, which is Jack Baker, and just staying with that one instead of just doing loads of other things. I do loads of other stuff. I would like to do collaborations and stuff. I was like, well, why don't I just stick it to be just me and then just do the collaborations through that? So that's where the podcast is going as well, by the way. But have you seen the stats on the weekly games?
I don't know, because I know that the best performing videos are the Star Trek ones.
I'm sorry.
And I remember, like, when I saw you putting the Star Trek, I'm like, who the hell wants to watch Star freaking Trek?
I know.
Like Star Trek is like for those old guys, and they don't watch YouTube. They're too busy watching Star Trek.
See, this is the thing. I posted it thinking, oh, yeah, nobody's going to watch this. Like, it's something I wanted to post because it's something I liked. But I was like, I'm going to post it anyway, and just as a video filler. And of course, that's now taken over our Minecraft series. And
yeah, I think it's because, for example, in terms of Minecraft, there's just so much of those videos on YouTube that, like, if you just search Minecraft, you're gonna get like thousands of people making videos.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not sure. It's probably not as big a number when you search Star Trek online.
I mean, like, I for all 5 videos, we did 10 videos overall, but 5 videos were Star Trek, 5 videos were Minecraft, and the first 5 videos of the Star Trek, that basically every single video is at the top of the search term. So when you search it, they're all 5 of them are all in the list underneath each other. So I'm like, so they're almost on 1,000 views each.
Another problem with the Minecraft is that a lot of the big gamer YouTubers, like, you know, most of them are like started from Minecraft or have like a lot of Minecraft videos. If you search Minecraft on YouTube, you'll get like the top searches like Captain Sparkles, what's that guy? Sky Does Minecraft, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the people with millions. So, yeah, in the Minecraft scene, it's hard to get into.
Yeah, but then again, my computer was lagging as well. That was another benefit. Problem.
Yeah.
Max said to me, me and Max worked together, and of course, he said to me, that Minecraft series that you did with Jahson, he said, you recorded that. He said, I know you recorded that, because the one thing that really stuck out with the recording was the fact that how much lag you had. It was so much lag that was on the screen, like the resolution and stuff was so bad that he said it was making me ill. I was like, really?
Yeah. Because nobody wants to watch lag.
No, I know. It was like, it became one of the titles of one of our videos. It
becomes a problem because now you want to make unlaggy videos, but you don't have the computer to do it, and you can't get the money for the computers because you keep making laggy videos.
Exactly.
It's like
it's a vicious circle. No, one of the things that I wanted to get. See, this is the thing. For Christmas, I'm really wanting to get a Elgato, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's a screen recorder that you can record your PS3, 4, and 2 video games.
But you don't even need that for the PS4. It comes built in. Same for the Xbox One.
Yeah, but I don't have an Xbox. I don't have an Xbox One, and I don't have a PS4 either.
Well, sell your PS3.
No,
buy a PS4. Because an Elgato's like €100 too. I know, like an Elgato, they're not cheap.
I know
they're not cheap.
I know.
So it's like €100. Sell your PS3 That'll be like, I don't know, plus something. Maybe add 50 pounds or whatever. There's your PS4.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to get. I have no idea what I'm getting for Christmas because I didn't really ask for much.
I think I'm going to get a Rubik's Cube again.
What's that?
I think I'm going to get a Rubik's Cube again.
Do you keep getting them?
No, like, I think for my birthday, I got a Rubik's Cube, and I forgot what happened to it, but I broke it. I just kept it. I kept it. And then on Christmas, I got another one, but this one was different because it had a hole in the middle. It was like, oh my god, it's so much harder. It's the same thing. Just stuck in the middle.
So when did we meet? Do you know when we met?
Let me see. I could probably find out. If I go to my Spreaker, my old one.
You're going to look on there and you're going to be like, it's got loads more listens now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has tons.
Whoa. It has a ton more downloads too. I'm like checking it out right now. But anyway, I'm going to go through the episodes. And there should be one. Oh yeah, I forgot I deleted them. No, not all of them. Like the really, really old ones because I needed space.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have a pro account, you only have a certain amount of hours of storage.
Which is why I stopped the weekly radio because I didn't have a pro account at that point. It's annoying, isn't it? It costs so much as well. Have you seen it? Like, if you wanted like 45 minutes, it's like £100 for us for just 45 minutes. Like 50 minutes more from the free. I'm like, that's like no. I don't know. But when we start, you had Jar FM. Is it Jar FM or Jat FM?
Jat FM. Yeah. I did that for like a year.
Yeah.
You
sure you didn't do it for longer?
No, because I only have 31 episodes.
Oh, so. I thought you did it for longer. It
wasn't that long. Like, I don't know. When I first started, right? First, how it happened was I found out about the website Spreaker, and then I told Tim about it. And then Tim, I was somehow, because I didn't want to do it, because I was all like, oh, I'm too nervous. What if people don't like me? So I just didn't want to do it. But I tried so hard to convince Tim and be like, hey, you should do it. No one's going to listen to you. Whatever, just do it. And he eventually did it. And then after him doing a couple of episodes, I was like, you know what? I'm jealous now, so I want to do it too.
Yeah. And the fact is that you both were more popular than I was, and I had been doing it a year longer than you were.
No, but I think I found out what it was. It's because Tim and I, right? I think it's based on our location. Because if you look at us, Tim is in Portugal and I'm in Mozambique. And the main languages in these two countries is Portuguese.
Yeah.
And if you look at our followers, like most of them, like 60-70% of them are all like from Brazil and Portugal. So what I'm thinking is that probably there's not many Portuguese channels on Spreaker. So probably when people from Portugal visited the website, they like saw us on the top. They'd be like, I don't know, featured. Because there was like for the first like 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Let's say in the first month, we were like just broadcasting to nobody. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we were getting like hundreds of listens and getting like followers, like at least a few until, sometimes I still even get followers. Like I get an email saying, hey, you got like X amount of followers.
See, that's what's happening with our YouTube. I keep getting an email with our YouTube saying that you got a new follower. We've almost got 40 subscribers to that YouTube channel of 10 videos. It's insane. It's like we've got a ton of comments that I haven't read through.
One thing is my Facebook page.
All right.
That at first, like, I didn't even care about anymore. That the last post was like from last year. Yeah. All of a sudden, like I remember, I even started a whole campaign. I hosted a giveaway through that Facebook page to try to get likes, and like for the past 2 or 3 months now, I'm getting at like 5 a day. I'm gonna reach like 100 and probably in 2 days. Like it's constantly going up. So, and if you look at the people who are liking them, they're like, I don't know, they're just random people. I don't get how they're finding me.
Yeah, I must admit this. Like my Facebook page, I'm losing likes, and no, I'm not one of them people anymore. I used to be one of them people going, "Oh, I'm losing likes. Oh, how can this happen? Ah!" And it's because I've got no content. It's purely because I've got no content. This is the only content that I get, and it's like once a week. And of course, when I start making YouTube videos, I have more content to produce. More videos will be placed onto Facebook as well, so that people will be able to see it more, and people will share stuff, which would be awesome. So it'll be pretty cool. I don't know. I don't really care. The main thing that I've been told is, Mark's told me, he said the main thing you need to focus on is your Twitter. He said because that's where your followers and your most relevant people and the community are going to talk to you more about is on Twitter, because Twitter is more like comments and stuff.
Ironically, for me, I hardly ever use Twitter. I only had it for when I used to do radio, and I used to get followers. Also, Twitter was awesome because whenever, I don't know why, but when I was doing JAFM, there'd be a couple of like people like doing indie magazines or something, like I don't know, DJ Weekly or something like that. And I remember a couple of times like the same, like I don't know, Wannabe magazine or something would always like tweet me saying, "Hey, we have an article about you and this person and this person. Check it out."
Yeah, that's sort of the things that have happened. What was it? When I was doing the weekly radio, there was a magazine that tweeted me saying, "Oh yeah, we featured you." And I clicked on their magazine. There was nothing on there that said that they had featured me at all.
I noticed when they did that, when I clicked on the magazine, like it was like they sent me the tweet and I got notification and I instantly checked it out.
Yeah.
But then I remembered the second time they did that, I decided to look at it like the next day or something, or 2 days later, and I couldn't find it at all. But
it's like,
oh yeah.
It's I don't know.
Also, like this indie random ass magazine, it's recognizing talent. Yeah. Thanks, magazine.
I must admit that one thing that I do not like about Twitter is the fact that there's a lot of new YouTubers on there, and the fact that when you follow back, these YouTubers follow you, and then when you follow them back, they then message you saying, "Hi," and it's like you can tell it's a bot. It's like, "Hi, thank you for following me. Please watch this video and subscribe." And I message them again, and then they say, "Hi, thank you for following me." It's like a repeat. I'm like,
oh, it's like the Skype bots. I remember one time, there was this bot at Skype, and it kept on like messaging me until eventually I replied back. I'm like, "Who are you?" And it'd be like, "Hey, I'm really horny right now. You want to see a webcam of me? It's only $1." And I'm like, no.
See, that's the thing. I still get them, and I'm like, how are you finding me? I don't understand this. I don't do anything like that. It's like the only thing that Twitter's on, like, or Skype that I open up on, is literally to do interviews. So whoever I talk to must have been involved in something. I don't know. I just,
dun, dun, dun. So whoever's listening, if you're the person who's been giving Jack's address away to the robots, we're looking.
So what are you going to be doing over the next 2 weeks then, Jahson?
Procrastinate. Maybe I'll start no, I shouldn't say maybe. I will.
You will start a YouTube channel, is that what you're saying?
One day.
One day?
Because, like, I don't know, I always came up with excuses. Like, I remember before August, he used to ask me, "When are you doing your YouTube channel?" I'd be like, "Nah, I need a new microphone." Then, like, I went to Ireland, I got the microphone. I'm using it now, by the way. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, nah, but my computer's not good enough. I should get a better computer or get a PlayStation or something. I got a PlayStation 4 now. Like, sometimes, and all I'm doing with it is playing games. And sometimes when something funny happens, because the PlayStation, right, it's always recording you.
Yeah.
So as long as you press the share button, it'll make a clip of the last 10 seconds. So if something happens, I always have so many of those clips now. And I don't know, maybe I should do a montage or something. I don't know. Or I could just freaking...
You should.
Or I could just like record a whole session playing that games there. And yeah, but the problem is, right, because I'm so cheap, I don't have any of the games people are watching anymore. Like, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5, that's like 60 euros. I'm like, I could get Grand Theft Auto 5, or I could get Watch Dogs, which is 20. And I'm like, Watch Dogs it is. And I was like,
I've got out my PS2. I'm going backwards in time because I am cool like that. And I've been playing the Ratchet and Clank series of videos.
Oh my god, that was my favorite game as a kid.
Yeah.
I still have my PlayStation 2 is like in the closet behind me, and my Ratchet and Clank's even closer. And I remember one time I tried to actually play it, but I found out one of the wires in the PlayStation 2 is broken.
Oh,
so I can't.
You can download them. You can download them from the PlayStation Store. Apparently, Max said they were going really cheaply. Like you can get 1, 2, and 3 really quick.
Wait, the Ratchet and Clank?
You can get the trilogy, the original trilogy, in HD on the PS4 and PS3 just by downloading it from the PlayStation Store, and it's about what, £10 for me.
When I went to PSN, I remember seeing the only PlayStation 2 games I saw was like Tomb Raider, and like a ton of random ass ghetto titles that who knows what they are.
You need to search it.
Oh, Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Yeah, and
but I know they're making. I know they're making a new Ratchet and Clank. Like,
yeah, they're also making a film too. There's a film coming out.
I might watch that.
It's a kids' film, but who cares?
Yeah,
it's a game we love. I mean, I've been playing through. I started playing the original game. I don't know if you played the very, very first Ratchet and Clank.
No, I started from 2.
Well, anyway, I played the first game, and it got to the you do a series of missions, and then you get so far, and of course, because it's a really old game, it's 13 years old.
Yeah.
This game that I've got, and of course, it's got scratches all over it because I was a kid when I was playing it last, and it's got scratches and all sorts of stuff over it. So then, when it gets to the major bit where you can now progress in the level, it glitches on the one cutscene that you really need. And I'm like, no, I can't play this game. And then I've got the same problem. I've got a glitch in the Ratchet and Clank 2 game, and that's glitching out, and it's winding me up. Oh.
I remember, I remember Ratchet and Clank, right? I had it. I don't know when I had it, but I remember I played it. But when I had my PlayStation 2, right, I didn't have a memory card, so I was a kid. I was like, I could never save, so I used to just play the first level over and over and over again. Like, it got to the point where I could close my eyes. I knew where all the enemies spawned. When the boss came, I knew exactly where to move. But eventually I got a memory card, and I was able to get to a certain point of the game, but then I got stuck, and I was like, nah, this game's too hard. A couple of years later, I decided to try it again. I went further. I think I was on the last level, but got stuck, and now
see, that's the thing. That's the thing with me. I don't think I've ever completed Ratchet and Clank 2. I've never completed
any of them.
Really? I know I got to
the furthest I get is the last level, then, Ratchet... the first game I ever actually finished, like the first PlayStation game I ever finished, was like 2 weeks ago, where I finished Watch Dogs, like from level 1 to the end. The first time ever. I was like so amazed.
How is Watch Dogs?
I don't know why people are hating. It's cool. I liked it. It's kind of like GTA, except you can hack and stuff, and yeah.
Is it a bit like... have you played Assassin's Creed?
No, but I will soon.
Because apparently Watch Dogs is a bit like Assassin's Creed in the sense of the controls and stuff. Because they're made by the same company. I know that much. And I watched a trailer for it, and I was like, oh, this is good. But I'm like, well, I'm not going to get it anyway. It's like one of them things. I'm like,
second
I like
hand
these games.
Like €10.
I don't know. I
Like,
really don't know.
Go to GameStop.
See, this
That's where
is the
I get all my
thing.
games.
So the thing is, I don't have time because I'm studying or I'm working or I'm doing other things. I don't actually have time to play games. So the only off chance I get to play a game is either in the uni holidays, which I'm on now, or, you know, if I have no work to do. And that is very, very rare. So, of course, if I go, I'm not really thinking about going out and wasting money buying a game that I'm not going to play very often. So it's like I'm trying to play a campaign and it's painful because you play a series of things, you know what's happening, and then like 2 months later I will then play that game again, and I've got to try and remember what I've done last time and what guns I need to get and all that sort of stuff. And I blow out all the money like I've done on SimCity. I was like, why have I've got a mobile game on SimCity that I play every now and then, and I had 100,000 simultans, right, for this, and I said I'm going to save this money for to buy a hospital, because I know it's going to go up next, it's going to happen next, I'm going to need that. So I'm saved up. When it got near to the point, I had spent all that money because I was repairing all the roads, and I have no money left, and now I've got all people dying everywhere, and it's like, this is not a good thing.
I want to play that game, but that happened to me because over here we don't have GameStop. So if I want to buy games on the cheap, I have to buy it when I'm in Ireland.
Do you have it?
When I went,
do you have an iPhone or anything like that? An Android or?
Yeah, I have a S6 and I have a tablet too.
Because the game I'm talking about is actually an iPhone and Android game. It's a mobile game.
I thought SimCity was for the computer.
It was originally, but it's better on the mobile because you can ping it around. Especially if you've got a touchscreen on your phone, you can ping it around.
Who doesn't have a touchscreen on their phone now?
Some people don't have touchscreens.
Oh my god, that's so ancient. I'm in Africa and that's disgusting. But since I have to like stockpile, I like when I bought my PlayStation, I went to the GameStop guy and I'd be like, one PlayStation, please. And he'd be like, it's a little late, kind of a little bit random. We only sell. He even said this to me. He's like, oh, PlayStation, we only sell those on Christmas. I'm like, oh, but I want it. And he was like, let me look at the storage. Maybe we'll have it. He goes behind and be like, he comes out, it's like, sorry, we don't have any of the black PlayStations. We only have the white ones. I'm like, cool, give me the white one. And I bought like a ton of games because I can only get games there. Like, if I want to, I'd have to pay 3 times the price over here. So he just looks at me weird. I'm like grabbing all the secondhand games, just like the whole shelf, like.
Of course,
I want all of these.
Because obviously the shop owner doesn't actually know that you don't live. You need the games.
Eventually, he'd be like, "You're buying a lot of games." I'm like, "I only get them once a year," and he's all like, "What? You're only allowed to get games once a year?" I'm like, "No, it's not like that." And I was too lazy to explain it. It was raining. It's always raining in Ireland, and I'm like, I'm not in the mood.
I tell you what, one of the best things that I've seen is that they have thought about bringing out a PS4 that works with both PS1 and PS2 games.
That's
have
fucking
you heard
bullshit,
about that?
Because I've been looking on. I remember the day I got my PlayStation 4. I went hours looking online for like hacks, like because I knew in the PlayStation 2 there was like ways that you could download pirated games and play it on the PlayStation 2. I think even in the PlayStation 3. So I spent hours looking. I went to the deep. I was on the deep web, right next to where people be like, "Hey, you want to watch a YouTube video of someone murdering someone else?" Meanwhile, PS4 hacks, next page. Go there, be like bullshit's like, "Nah, this isn't a PS4 hack. It's secretly a porn site." And we're like, "Oh, great, okay." The internet.
Well, no, I saw an article. I didn't read it, but obviously I haven't read it. But they were saying about they're wanting the PS4. There's a campaign for the PS4 to be compatible for PS1, PS2, PS3 games to be all going on there because they're saying that the PS4 is like the last generation or something like that. I don't know. I think they're doing the same thing as what Windows is doing, where you got Windows 10 and that's going to be it for it forever. And it's just going to update.
That's impossible. Because
I know.
look, you know what pisses me off most about the PS4, right?
What's that?
For example, just the remote control, right? If you have a PlayStation 3, the remote control doesn't work on the PlayStation 4, right?
Right.
But the day the PS4 came out, there was an update to all the PlayStation 3s, so the PS4 remote could work on PlayStation 3s.
All right.
So,
really?
like, my friend has a PlayStation 3, right? And since he has Call of Duty and shit, we just end up playing the PlayStation 3 games, but he doesn't have the remotes. So I just grab my PS4 remote and I start playing with him like that. But if he wants to do, like, I don't know, join me on my PS4, like, venture, like, next gen, he can't. I only have one remote. And with the PS3, with the PS4, they removed, like, third-party remotes. Like, before, if you didn't want to buy, like, the remote directly from Sony, like, you know, £40 remotes,
Yeah.
you could go to, like, GameStop and buy their, like, China, you know, whatever remotes. And it would work, but now it doesn't work on the PS4, so stuck with shit.
I must admit, when the PS2 was out, I can remember the very first controller. I don't know if you would remember it, but it's the very first controller which was wireless, and I treasured that controller. Like,
Wait, the PS2?
yeah, it had a wireless controller that came out at the very
What?
end. Yeah.
What?
It was a huge, great big lump that you had to plug in, though. You had to plug this thing in.
Oh
and
my god!
Yeah, it was a
That's the
wireless
future.
controller. And I was like,
Oh my
yes,
god,
this is so cool. And then the
that
PS3
was my
came out.
childhood dream. You'd know how many times I used to pull on the wire and my PlayStation 2 would just fall. I was surprised it didn't break.
I tell you what, my PS2 is pretty strong. I must admit this now, because I've
Wait, do you have,
kicked
like,
it.
the fat one or this
It's
skinny
a
one?
it's a fat one. I didn't get the Slim 9. My friend
Oh,
had
I
a
got
Slim
the
9.
I got the skinny one.
The fat one, literally, you throw it about.
that's-
I've been
that's
really
a-
gentle with it, but you could. I feel like you can chuck it down the stairs and it will still work. I'm not saying to anybody out there to do that, because it might not, but you know, it might. I don't know.
One thing
yeah.
that's indestructible I know is the Game Boy, because I remember I never had a Game Boy. I
All
remember as a kid, I'd go to my parents. I'd be like, "Hey, can I have a Game Boy?" Because my friend had a Game Boy and he had Pokemon on it, and I used to just go to his house to play the Game Boy. And I remember asking my mom, be like, "Hey, Mom, I'm gonna ask Santa Claus for a Game Boy." And then I remember Christmas came over. There's a box, like console-sized box, and I open it up, and it's a fucking PSP. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I want a Game Boy. And like only a few years later, my mom told me, so like the reason I got you the PSP was because the guy at GameStop said Game Boys are like from 1998. You don't want that shit, Jahson. I'm like, what the hell? I wanted Pokemon, not freaking Ratchet and Clank.
See, that's the thing. I
like
also
the
got a
better.
PSP. I also got a PSP as well, and I don't know. I used it when I was on holiday and places like that. Any trips, I used the PSP, but there was just no games. That was the only problem. There was just no
I had
good
a ton of
games.
I still have a shelf full of PSP games that I don't have. I ended up loving my PSP. It was probably my favorite console. Like,
Did you know you could connect it with the PS3 though?
but I knew. Yeah, I did know that.
I tried doing that,
know
and it
that-
was actually quite awesome. I could play a PS3
I know that the
games on
latest PSP was like the PS Vita or something.
it. Yeah.
It's been a fail for Sony, and I'm like, oh my god, no, that's like the PSP son. They can't fail. But apparently, it's a huge flop because the fucking Nintendo. Like, what the hell, Nintendo? That's for Super Mario.
Yeah.
Are they even a console? That's a freaking whatever. Like Nintendo, ew. Wii. That's not even a console.
A Wii is a console. Have you ever tried to
Wii
play
is
Call of
just-
Duty on Wii? It is epic.
Call of Duty on Wii.
Yeah, you get a gun and everything. It's so cool.
Nah. Wii is freaking. That's not a console. I remember you just play like Smash Brothers, and that's it.
There's other games on there. There is other games on there, Justin. There's like Wii Fit and fitness exercises and all the other stuff.
And we like freaking we drive and we
Yeah. walk
walk and we ride your bicycle. 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 And we ride your bicy
But you get off of the sofa though. You move yourself a little bit.
We.
Until you figure out that you can just do the things with your arms and stuff. It's like, you know, I don't know.
But I remember my friend had a Wii, and I fell in love with Wii Sports. And I was like determined. I was like, if you do the motions like how the pros do it, like in real life, the Wii will know that you're good, and you'll just do it. So I used to actually play for an hour on the Wii Sport, and by the end of it, I'd be sweating so hard. It'd be like I was just like the tennis. I would hit it with so much force. I'd be like, ugh, make even the sound like, ugh, That's how you play the Wii, and I'd be sweating hard.
Unless you like me, and then eventually, you know, kids always figure it out. But you know, you figure out that the Wii remote isn't as sensitive as you think it is. So you then start doing things with your wrist, and you're not actually moving very much other than your wrist.
I knew that, but I was all like, what's the point of having a Wii if you're gonna cheat? And the worst thing about it, right, is I played, my favorite game on the Wii Sport was tennis. And the thing is, Wii tennis, right, I have a real tennis court. It's probably it's just down the block. I could play tennis whenever I want to. But Wii tennis was next level. It was the future, so I was only playing that. So Wii wasn't inspiring exercise, it was inspiring laziness.
So what do you have any Twitters or anything like that you want to give people?
I have a Twitter, but I hardly ever use it, so there's no point. I don't even remember the username anymore.
Do you have a Facebook page yet? Have you created one?
It's still the JFM one, and I think I'm gonna just change that one because I'm liking the likes, even though it's just random people.
Yeah,
I think
you should.
I think the reason I'm getting a lot of the likes, though, I've noticed there's a lot from Jamaica or something, and I think it's because Jah, in Rastafarian means God. So I think people think I'm some Rasta, reggae radio, playing Bob Marley. My dad loves Bob Marley.
That's another story. Well, thank you very much for listening to this Podmas episode. Of course, Jason's here. You can tweet us questions at WeeklyCast. You can tweet us #AskJason and #AskJack. You can tweet us your questions, ask us something, and I will pass on the message, obviously, to Jason, and I'm sure he will get back to you. Won't you? You will get back to you.
I don't know. Maybe I won't like the question. I'll ignore it.
Well, thank you very much.
I'll answer. Maybe. It depends.
Well, now we're going on a 2-week hiatus. We won't be back until, after the holidays. So thank you very much for listening to this podcast. Is there anything else that you would like to say, Jason, before the end of the episode? And my lights have just
not much.
Come back.
Thanks for listening, and have a good one.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye. This is the Weekly Podcast.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hi, thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this one, you can click that annotation up there. That will take you to the latest and last video from my channel. And also, there is a podcast that you can download where I talk to awesome people with my co-host Jason Binder. You can go and click on that annotation down there. That will take you to the iTunes store where you can download it and subscribe to our channel there. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, you can do by clicking that big red subscribe button down there. Every subscription is appreciated. And of course, leave a comment and message us. I will get back to you. I might even create a video response just to you. So please do that. It's really awesome to hear from you. So thank you very much for subscribing and watching this video. Enjoy. Bye bye.